there. It's simple mathematics. Can I hear a good amen?
Amen.
Baruch Hashem Yahweh. So this prophecy of Yeshayahu 54:1 is sad, but quite literal, and has opened the doors to Israel's enemies in the land of Israel. The reason we have gave up the Gaza Strip, Lebanon, we're going to give up the Golan Heights, and many other lands, all the way from the Euphrates in the north to the Nile in the south, is because we don't need all that Negev and Judean wilderness. We have no Jews to put there. Why? Because the Jewish people, as usual, are smarter than Yahweh, and they're following some rabbi who told them that they can't have more than one wife, when Yahweh said, I have two, what's wrong with you? So part of the political problem in Israel is because we're not following Yahweh. If the Jewish people today were 1 billion, do you think they would need the Gaza Strip?
Oh, yes.
Yes. Do you think they would need the West Bank?
Oh, yes.
Yes. Do you think they would need the Negev desert? Yes. They wouldn't be giving these things away to the Muslims if we were following Yahweh. Now, while Ephraim, the 10 tribes, started to have many wives, and Ephraim, the 10 tribes, started to produce many children. And when that started happening, they returned to the true Israelite pattern. Now I've lost you. Because we know Ephraim today is mostly where?
In the church.
Mostly where?
In the church.
In the West, in the Christian churches, and they also abide by serial monogamy or police state mandated monogamy. And it is a police state action. If you have 3 wives and you have papers and 3 wives in the courts, they come knock on your door. You can't do it, quote unquote, with papers. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So what's going on here? Isaiah said the children of the barren woman. Who's the barren woman? The one who was what? Divorced. In the end times, will what? Will have more children than Jewish Israel. How can that be? How can that be, Bruno? Christians also primarily have what? One wife, and follow the same kind of serial state-mandated monogamy. Baruch Hashem Yahweh. I'm going to show you how these things have come to pass. There are some Jewish people, of course, who have disobeyed Rabbi Gershon's cherem. Who are those Jewish people? As you were saying earlier, the Sephardic Jews. Sephardic Jews from Spanish countries. Jews, Spanish-speaking Jews, from Spain originally, and then they went into the rest of Latin America. Today they are primarily Spanish-speaking Jews. They disobeyed that ban, and we could find plural marriage in places like Yemen and Morocco and other places even to this day. But let's continue. So, we are in a time of restoration. The time of the restoration of how many things? All things. In order for us to be in the time of restoration, Yahweh have to raise up leaders who may be bruised, who may be battered, to help the flock, give them permission. And those of you who were at the conference, in the leadership conference, remember, you know, what does a leader do? What is the primary job of a leader is to give people what? Permission. To give people permission to go places that they don't want to go, or they don't know they don't know that they need to go. A leader is not a super saint or somebody who's specially spiritual, but an anointed leader is somebody who gives people permission by his example to go places they don't know they need to go, or they're not aware that they want to go. You follow what I'm saying?
Yep.
So in the latter days, Yahweh will raise up leaders who will receive the bruising, the battering, the pain, to help the flock live kadosh marriage lives, if they're called to it, with biblical patriarchy like Abba Yahweh. The experience of the few will help the many. The patriarchal model, and I always say if you're called to it, okay, that is the key right here. I would recommend putting your hand on about 29 sticks of dynamite, right on top of the dynamite, and waiting for it to explode. You're better off than going into patriarchal marriage if you're not called to it. Okay? You've gotta be called to it. But praise Yahweh, He's raising up leaders that are being called to it, to lead by example, and to take, like Yeshua, to take the pain and the suffering so that the people will be free to follow Yahweh and to obey Yahweh when Yahweh's call comes to them. The patriarchal model has been established successfully in the East and will happen in the lands of Islam, because Yahweh has allowed his children to produce seed and to prosper. Yahweh knew ahead of time they would be more likely to be fruitful and multiply according to his divine will in the East. Now remember, in Isaiah 54:1, it doesn't say the children of the barren woman will be more than the children of the married woman. It says are. It's in a present tense. It's a present tense. They are. That means that who is the barren sister wife? Who is the barren sister wife? Ephraim, the 10 tribes, non-Jewish Israel. From the time that prophecy came, Chris, the children of Ephraim began multiplying and filling the nations, and today there are more children of Ephraim than there are children of Judah, but it can't happen with a man having just one wife. So where are they? Where are they? Where are these people? They have been fulfilling this prophecy since it was given in 700 BCE. They're not our neighbors. They're not in the West. And look at the wisdom of Yahweh. They are primarily today Muslims. They have the faith of Islam. I'm going to prove that to you from Scripture. Most, not all, because when Yahweh told Jacob to lay his hand on Ephraim, and he said, you will become the Melo HaGoyim, the fullness of the nations. He wasn't just talking about Western Christian nations west of the Mediterranean or west of the Mississippi. No, 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 no. When Yaakov laid his hand on his grandson Ephraim, he said, your seed will fill the nations, Melo HaGoyim, all the nations, not just the Western nations, and not just the Christian nations. And the barren woman has been having more children than the married woman from the days of Isaiah, the days of her divorce, because when was Ephraim divorced from the house of David? Right around, what was that? Right around 721, 730 BCE, right around the time Isaiah, and from the time, don't miss this, from the time of Isaiah when Ephraim was first given a get, a bill of divorce, she has begun to multiply many, many, many more children. And when this rabbi hobo came about in the Middle Ages and he stifled Jewish reproduction, it further fulfilled the prophecy of the married woman being unable to bear. Is this heavy here?
Nope, this is right on the money.
See how Yahweh will use men, even religious men, to fulfill his prophecies, to fulfill his word? We're going to show, as Rabbi Simon was sharing with me, that many Muslims today have Hebrew bloodlines. The continuance of this prophecy will also happen in the West, but will not be as successful as the East, because the choking bureaucracy and red tape of immorality, that people enjoy living in sin in the West. In the West, why should a person get married? In the West, a man can have a corrupt patriarchy. What is a corrupt form of patriarchy?
Mormonism.
Supported by Satan. Where a man can have 6 girlfriends, 1 or 2 children from each of the 6 girlfriends, and no marriage ties. What do we call that man?
A deadbeat dad.
A Latin lover? Machismo? A macho man? Or deadbeat dad, right? Ooh, he's a ladies' man. 6 wives? 6 girlfriends? 3 children for each girlfriend? Wow, he's a ladies' man. That's a false patriarchy. That's a pseudo-patriarchy. That is a satanic patriarchy. Live with one. Here is the way life is conducted in the West. Let's be honest. Okay, I don't care if I'm boring you. Someone's got to teach the truth.
Come on, man.
You're not going to hear this anywhere else. Trust me.
Come on, man.
Okay, so in the West, if you live with one woman, produce 2 children so the state doesn't come and get you in trouble, but have 9 girlfriends on the side, whoa, you got a TV program.
Exactly.
Matter of fact, you might even get your own channel.